Your coworker makes the same salary you do. Same job, same paycheck. He drives a brand new BMW. You drive a used Corolla. So he's doing better than you, obviously. Except he isn't. He's tens of thousands of dollars behind you, and he has no idea. Today we're going to do something nobody else who makes this video does. Instead of telling you to stop comparing yourself to other people, we're going to put a number on the person you're comparing yourself to. Let's start with the car, because the car is where almost everyone gets this wrong. Meet Eric. Eric works down the hall from you, and you earn roughly the same. Eric drives a brand new BMW i4, the electric one, the one that runs about $53,000 new. One afternoon by the coffee machine, Eric complains about his car payment. $459 a month, he says. You almost choke because your used Corolla costs you about $424 a month on the loan. How is a $53,000 BMW only $35 a month more than your Corolla? It isn't. Eric just didn't tell you the rest. First, Eric is leasing, not buying. That $459 doesn't buy him anything. At the end of 3 years, he hands the car back and owns nothing. Second, he didn't mention the $5,300 he put down at signing. He didn't mention that his insurance is higher, or that everything about running a $53,000 car costs more. Add it up, and Eric's real monthly cost is closer to $560, plus that $5,000 up front. And here's the part that matters. Every 3 years, Eric does it again. New lease, new money down, new car he'll never own. It's not a purchase. It's a subscription he can never cancel. Now, here's the thing even Eric doesn't fully understand. A new car is the fastest melting asset most people will ever own. The moment the first year is up, a new car has shed about 20% of its value. By year 3, it's lost around 40%. On a $53,000 car, that's roughly $21,000. Gone, evaporated, before you've done anything but drive it. When you bought your 3-year-old Corolla, you let the original owner eat that entire drop for you. But that's not settling for less. That's the smartest move in the parking lot. And there's a darker version of Eric's story playing out everywhere. A lot of people who look like they're upgrading are actually drowning. They still owe more on the old car than it's worth. So when they trade it in, that leftover debt gets rolled into the new loan. They're now financing 2 cars in one they don't even own anymore. The shiny new thing in the driveway is sitting on top of a hole they dug last time. So let's run Eric and you forward. Not 3 years, but 10. Over 10 years, Eric spends close to $90,000 on cars and ends with nothing in the driveway he owns. You pay off your Corolla, keep driving it, and take the money you used to send to the bank and put it into a basic index fund. At the end of 10 years, you are roughly $81,000 ahead of Eric. Same salary, same parking lot. He looks richer every single day. He's $81,000 behind. And there's a third person in this story you never noticed. The one who bought a boring, reliable used car outright and quietly invested the difference the whole time. That person, about $130,000 ahead of Eric. They just didn't have a BMW for you to notice. So here's what's actually going on, and it's going to come up again and again in this video. You've been comparing the wrong number. You see what people drive, wear, and post. You almost never see what they're worth. And the thing about those two numbers is that they're often pointing in opposite directions. The stuff that makes someone look rich is frequently the exact stuff making them poorer. The BMW wasn't the exception. The BMW is the rule. Let me show you 4 more versions of the same trick. If the car is the first big illusion, the house is the second. And it's the one almost nobody questions. Someone your age buys the big place. 5 bedrooms, the good neighborhood, the kitchen that belongs in a magazine. And your brain does the same thing it did with the BMW. It sees the house and fills in a fortune behind it. But a big house isn't wealth. A big mortgage is the opposite of wealth. It's the largest debt most people will ever sign for, and the bank owns most of it for 30 years. Take 2 people who earn the same. One buys a $600,000 house. The other buys a sensible $375,000 house in a quieter part of town. Same down payment percentage, same mortgage rate. Here's what nobody sees. The bigger house doesn't just cost more on the mortgage. The property taxes are bigger. The insurance is bigger. The repairs, the heating, the roof, the furniture to fill all those rooms, all bigger. Add it up, and the person in the big house is paying about $1,600 a month more just to live there. Now give that $1,600 a month to the person in the modest house and let them invest it. In 10 years, that's about $280,000. And remember, they still own a home too. It's just smaller. So one of them has a bigger house and the other one has a perfectly good house plus $250,000. From the street, the first one looks like they're winning. On the balance sheet, it's not close. Being house poor is one of the most common ways to look rich and feel broke at the same time. Every dollar is tied up in a structure you have to keep heating, and there's nothing left over to actually build wealth with. The next reason everyone seems richer than you is the most invisible one: debt. When you see someone with the nice watch, the designer bag, the constant dinners out, your brain fills in a bank balance behind it. But a huge share of that lifestyle isn't bought with wealth. It's rented with credit. Right now, nearly half of American cardholders carry a balance from 1 month to the next. More than 6 in 10 people who have credit card debt have been carrying it for over a year, and 1 in 5 have been in it for at least 5 years. The average person carrying a balance owes around $11,000, at an interest rate north of 21%. Here's why that rate is the trap. Take a $5,000 balance and pay only the minimum each month. It doesn't take a year or two to clear, it takes around 15 to 20 years, and you'll pay roughly $6,000 to $8,000 in interest on top, more than the original balance. That's not an accident. The minimum payment is designed to be low because the longer you take, the more they make. And there's a newer trick that hides this even better. Buy now, pay later. That jacket, those sneakers, the holiday gifts, split into 4 easy payments, and suddenly anyone can carry the look of someone with money. More than a third of Americans used one of these plans in just the last 3 months, and half of everyone under 40. The problem is what's underneath. Nearly half of those users have paid one of these loans late in the past year, and most of them are juggling several at once. It's a lifestyle assembled out of tiny installments, and from the outside, it's invisible. You just see the jacket, so when you look at the shiny stuff and feel behind, understand what you might actually be looking at. Not net worth, a balance that never goes down. Now flip it around, because this is the one that should change how you see your whole office. Picture 2 people who earn exactly the same. Same job, same paycheck, same $500 a month left over after the bills. The first person spends that $500 on things you can see. Nicer clothes, better gadgets, the occasional upgrade. Every month, there's something new to notice. The second person takes that same $500 and quietly puts it into an index fund. There is nothing to see. No new car, no new watch, no posts, just a number going up in an account nobody else looks at. After 10 years, the visible spender has a closet full of stuff that's mostly worth nothing now. And the quiet one has around $87,000. Wait 20 years, and the quiet one is sitting on roughly $260,000. Same income the whole time. The difference is that one of them was building something you were never able to see. This is the core of it. Real wealth is almost invisible by design. You are comparing your insides, your account balance, your worries, to everybody else's outsides. That's not a fair fight, and it was never going to feel like one. And this is exactly what the people who win with money do. They track the number nobody else can see. That's what the Wealth Logicians membership is built for. The Calculator Vault gives you the same tools I use to run these comparisons, so you can plug in your own numbers and see where you really stand. The link's below if that's useful. Either way, the next 2 reasons are the ones people find hardest to accept. The next reason is that the internet lies to you about money by accident. Go to any trading forum and you'll see them. The screenshots. Someone turned $80,000 into over $1 million in a week. Someone made a year of your salary in a single afternoon, and you sit there wondering whether you're doing something fundamentally wrong with your life. Here's what you're not seeing. For every person who posts that win, there are hundreds who lost and said nothing. People don't screenshot the account that went to zero. They quietly close the tab. The feed isn't showing you what's likely, it's showing you the one lottery winner and hiding the line of people who bought tickets and lost. Run the math on a bet like that and it stops looking like opportunity. Say you've got a 1 in 1,000 shot at a 14 times return, and almost any other outcome wipes you out. On average, putting $80,000 into that doesn't make you rich. You'd expect to lose around $75,000 of it. The one person who hit it is real. So are the 999 you never heard from. One trader on one of these forums lost his entire life savings on a single options bet and wrote that he'd give anything to go back to the week before. That post exists too. It just doesn't get screenshotted and passed around because nobody wants to look at it. But for almost everybody, almost all of the time, there is no fast money. There's just a long, boring, consistent road that nobody posts about. Which brings us to the last reason, and it's the one that stings the most. Sometimes the person who's ahead of you didn't run faster. They just started further up the track. Family money is the most hidden advantage there is because it almost never shows up directly. You don't see the down payment that came from a parent. You don't see the lump sum that landed at the right time. You just see someone your age who somehow owns a home, takes the trips, and never seems stressed about it. And you assume they earned every bit of it the way you're trying to. Let me show you what even a small head start does. 2 people, both 30, both saving $500 a month, both earning the same 7%. The only difference, one of them got a one-time gift of $40,000 at the start. Just once. 30 years later, the one who started from zero has around $610,000, which is great. The one who got that single $40,000 head start has around $935,000. A one-time $40,000 gift turned into a $325,000 gap, but the cash is only the part you can almost see. The bigger advantage is the one that never appears on any statement, the safety net. The person who can move back into their childhood bedroom for a year if a business fails will take risks the rest of us can't afford to. The person whose parents co-sign the lease, or cover the deposit, or are simply there if it all goes wrong, they get to be bold while you have to be careful. Think about something as simple as a few years living rent-free after college. If you invest what would have been rent, say $1,800 a month for 3 years, and just leave it alone, by retirement that quiet head start alone is worth close to $500,000. They didn't do anything you didn't do. They just had a floor under them that you didn't. That gap you feel, the one that makes you think you're failing? Some of the time, it's not a race you're losing. It's a number that was handed over before the starting gun, compounding quietly ever since. And you can't compare yourself to a head start you were never offered. So let's put it all together, because the answer here isn't stop comparing yourself and feel better. The answer is that you've been comparing yourself to things that aren't what you think they are. The BMW is a subscription. The big house is a debt with a roof. The lifestyle is a balance that never clears. The viral trade is a feed with the losers hidden. The effortless wealth is sometimes a head start you couldn't see. Almost everything you've been using to measure where you stand is either debt, a filtered story, or somebody else's starting line. And almost none of it is the net worth you assumed. And the one number that actually matters, your own, is invisible too. That's the whole reason this feeling exists. You can't see your own progress as a thing on a shelf, so it never feels like enough, even when it's real. So stop measuring yourself against the parking lot. Measure yourself against your own number, the one going up quietly in the background. That's the only comparison that's ever told the truth. If this changed how you look at the cars in your office even a little, subscribe. This channel is built on running the boring math nobody else will. And if you want the tools to run your own, the membership link is below. I'll see you in the next one.